when they get up here. But really quick, I want to thank the Metro students. And you guys are all those young faces in the back. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Because one of the biggest points we were trying to teach our kids was that civic participation, engagement, it doesn't happen unless the effort's put forward. You guys, you rock it. You guys did an awesome job tonight, and just keep on keeping on. And we hope that this is a testament to what hard work can do, and you guys are really proving that tonight. So, job well done. And thank you for not leaving your teachers high and dry. But again, welcome this evening. There's some food left from what the kids did not devour, and drinks in the back. And there's a meet and greet in the back. If you'd like to go back there with some student work, I'd really encourage you to check out the student work because it is pretty awesome. And up here will be where the candidates are speaking about their platforms. And I think as far as the technical side of things, I'll turn that over to someone that's going to know more than myself. But again, thank you for coming tonight, and welcome, and I hope you all feel at home.
All right. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Well, it is nice and gingerly. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Well, once again, good evening.
It worked.
This is me. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yeah. Take it away.
Please take it. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metro School. My name is Ron Bryant. I'm Director of Community Affairs and News for Bounce 23 Television. Say happy birthday to us. Today is our one-year anniversary. This is the 6th candidates night with the NAACP, and we're featuring, of course, the League of Women Voters. Today we want to recognize the CWA 501 Voter Empowerment Committee, the NAACP Columbus Branch, League of Women Voters of the Metropolitan Area of Columbus, the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists, the Smyrna Missionary Baptist Church, the A. Philip Randolph Institute, CWA 4310 and CWA 4502, as well as the CLUW. Give them a big round of applause. So for the opening remarks, we're going to bring Cynthia Stewart up so she can have some opening remarks, and then we'll just go on down the list.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Cynthia Stewart. And as Ron said, we've been doing this for about 6 years. And I am the political action chairperson for the NAACP Columbus Branch and the 4501 CWA Voter Empowerment Committee. And we feel it's very, very important that people come out, register, vote, and we wanted to incorporate teams this year, because we want teams to get ready for political education, get out there, know what's going on, possibility of running for office, and vote. So we have the candidates here for you. They're going to speak to you, and I'm so proud of the Metro High School kids, your work, your dedication. You're so smart, and I'm so happy to be a part of this function with you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. everybody. Can you hear me? I don't have this man's booming voice, so I would resort to the microphone if I had to. I was the League of Women Voters of Metropolitan Columbus. We've been doing this sort of thing since 1920. The suffragists who fought for 70-some years for the right of women to vote. And at first we just started out with teaching women the mechanics of voting and how to run for office and getting them prepared on the issues. You know, we're still doing that today. Although since, it doesn't seem that long ago to me, but to some of you it's ancient history, the 70s, we have been men, and we've also, so they're men members of the League of Women Voters. And they have a slogan that is, are you man enough to be a member of the League? And it's important for you to know that the League never supports or opposes any candidates or political parties. The vision of the League is to lead the creation of a Central Ohio community that has fair and open government, has an engaged and informed electorate, values the votes of all its citizens, engages in civil discourse, which is what we're having here, and has citizens equipped to take action on the issues they care about. For years, people have relied on the League for our voter information bulletin. I just want to let you know it's going to be out in the Columbus Dispatch in October, but if you're an early voter, you can get it online right now at lwbcols.org. That's the Columbus League website. It's got information on all the candidates to be on the ballot in Franklin County and all the issues. Again, so we just want you to vote. We're not going to push you in any direction. It's been great to be a part of the coalition that has brought this together. I want to thank Mr. Fraze and Ms. Graham, especially, and all the students here at Metro who've been working so hard to make this happen. If you haven't seen the redistricting brownies and puzzle pieces and pottery back there, you really need to do that. It's been a fabulous experience working with them. You'll also see them here working tonight. They were your greeters as you came in. They're going to be here timing the candidates, because candidates get 3 minutes, and we're going to be fair, and they're going to be timers. We also have students working back there. Hey, my voter information specialist students, would you raise your hand? Voter information. So everybody knows that you're there. If you have not registered to vote, they will register you to vote. If you need an absentee ballot form, they have that. If you don't know what district you're in, they'll look it up for you. So we've got all sorts of information. You should leave here prepared and ready to go. And I think that's it, and I will turn it back over to you, sir. All right.
Pat Fraze from the Metro High School here. Oh, it's already spoken. Sorry.
Yep.
No, that's fine. All right.
That working?
All right. Richard Murráy.
I certainly need it from soft spoken. I'm here from Local 4501 CWA, one of the co-sponsors of the event. Everyone has said, and I'll say it again, that it's wonderful to see the young adults here and their participation. Their artwork is beautiful. Their articulation of what democracy is to them is beautiful. All of those things have been expressed well. I will say quickly that what happens is that when we do these exercises and we use these young people, then what we're really doing is planting the seeds of icons. Now, most social and political icons don't start out to be icons. What they start out to do is to make change for the betterment of our country and the betterment of our community. Some of them are even politicians. What they really are, they're the keepers of the fire. The fire is independence. The fire is fairness. The fire is equity. The fire is the fire that flames service to others, public service. So most of our icons, if you know their names, didn't start out trying to be an icon. They started out trying to be good citizens, trying to serve their brothers and sisters, trying to have an exercise, this exercise we call democracy, and make it work for the constituents. And that's where icons are, and I believe that we have dozens and dozens of icons. And even the ones who have gone to their political station, a lot of them have that fire. that says, I'm here to do a service for the public. Our local is a public works local. We believe in that kind of equality and fairness in the workplace, regardless of where it is. There's no jewel so polished that we won't approach it to make that right. And so I believe all our young people will have that same fire. That this is a brilliant example of democracy. And I hope we all have a good time, and I'm sure that our candidates will show that fire for the betterment of us all. Thank you. Have a good night.
Has the Ohio Highway Patrol made it in yet? I think they have comments coming up. If not, we're just going to move forward. Daisha Caldwell, please come on. What's your position? You got a special voter registration speaker.
If I speak like this, can everybody hear me?
No. Nope.
Okay. Woo. Hi, my name is Daisha Caldwell. I'm a senior at Reynoldsburg High School. I'm 17 years old, and my birthday is in March, so this election, I will not be able to vote. I'm kind of sad about that. That's okay. Those are rules. Though I can't yet vote, I have been fortunate enough to have a mother and a grandmother in my life who have stressed to me the importance of voting through school and at home. I've realized that voting is about way more than just picking a person or picking a political party. It's about setting up your future and your education, and it's about your sense of security and your everyday comfort in life. It's going in. It's about your input and your impact on society. So it should be something that is taken very seriously. My mom told me the other day that she was speaking to a woman about voting. And the woman told her how her grandfather, as she was growing up, would explain to her that once people started dying for the right to vote, it went from just a right to more of a responsibility. When my mom told me this, I totally agreed with this statement, as I'm sure many of you would. And while that's great that people accept the responsibility, what many people fail to realize is that you have to take that first step. And that first step is to register to vote. If you don't register, then your opinion on how things are going, your concerns about the community, who you even want to vote for, it will never be heard. It's almost like it doesn't matter just because you didn't take that first step. To me, if you're concerned about your community, about your state, about America in general, then in order to help, you need to register. It's just that simple. It's not that hard at all. The responsibility of registering is just as important as the responsibility of voting itself. Therefore, it also has to be taken seriously to adults and teens alike. Thanks.
Isn't she like this? Cynthia Stewart's going to come back right now with some special recognition.
I'll just be a couple of minutes. Please bear with me. I would like to take a moment to recognize the committee, the marvelous committee that I work with. I have a special recognition for them, and I'd like to start with Lolita Thomas. If you would please come up to the stage. You have been wonderful, and your commitment and your assistance is not going unnoticed. Miracle, could you speak?
Ms. Miracle, my assistant, my lovely assistant. Thank you. Next, I'd like Sheila Collins to come to the stage, please, for your dedication and commitment. I'd like to present you with an award. Beth Taggart, where are you? There she is. Beth, the things that we have done today. So a special recognition to you too. Thank you, Beth. All right, to the candidates.
First of all, each candidate will be coming up and they will have 3 minutes to deliver their statements and get their message across to you. We have our timers right here and I'm sure they're going to do an excellent job. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and then come back with the candidates. This is the 6th annual Candidates Night brought to you by the NAACP and the League of Women Voters. We'll be right back.
My daughter, who doesn't want me to say her name, might be here with me. All right, I'm Heather Bischoff, and I'm running for state representative in the 20th district, which is East and Southeast Franklin County. And first of all, I am so impressed with the students that are here tonight. They actually look better than the rest of us, but there's students in there, and they look great. I have got to share that I was talking to a group back there, and I said, so what do you think, what do you want to see from these legislators today? What do you want to see at the State House? We want to see help with the economy. I've been to over 10,000 doors this year. That was the most succinct answer I have heard from anybody, and it came from students right here in this room tonight. So I'm so impressed with you guys. To tell you a little bit about myself, I am a mom of 4 amazing kids. I've got an 18-year-old she's in her senior year looking at colleges. I've got a 14-year-old who just started high school, an 11-year-old starting middle school, and a 9-year-old in elementary school. I am also an Army veteran. The lion's share of my service was stateside. The furthest I traveled was the Panama Canal. It was absolutely one of the great challenges of my life. I am profoundly appreciative for the experience. During my service, I graduated at the top of my class. I got to shoot some weapons and I qualified as an expert. I also earned Soldier of the Year for the state of Ohio in 1996. When I left high school, I wanted to be a doctor, and things didn't work out. That happens from time to time. You have this great plan, you know exactly what you want to do, and it doesn't work out. But that's okay, because I found a great job, and they had a wonderful training program in the financial industry. I have now been in the financial industry almost 19 years, the last 12 of which my husband and I have owned our own financial planning firm where we help people save money and small businesses like ours. Finally, I will share that I serve on the Board of Education for Hannah Jefferson Schools. In the last 12 years, my kids have been a part of that great school system, and I've had the opportunity to help in many ways, and serving on that board is just one of them. Finally, I wanted to share an experience that I had last week, or maybe it's been a couple weeks now. I was meeting with a great group of people like yourselves, and it just happened that the president stopped by to meet the same group of people. So we all got to sit in this room and listen to the president for just a few minutes. It was so exciting. And he mentioned his opponent. And when he mentioned his opponent, people started booing. And he said, don't boo. Vote. And that's what I say to you. Don't boo. Vote.
is Mr. Michael Cynthia Stewart for State Representative.
Here. Amazing group putting this together. Cynthia with CWA, other members of the CWA, NWACC, happy birthday to Fox. I'm very happy that we're holding a forum in Metro High School. I've had an opportunity to work with Metro and many of the students. I wanted to shout out to Elsa, who is awesome. She was someone who shadowed me in my first term at the State House. We got to know each other very well, and I got to come to see the projects and the caliber of students you have at Metro. So the parents that are here, you picked a wonderful institution. As mentioned, I am State Representative Michael Cynthia. I represent the 25th House District currently. That's Central West Southern Franklin County. As anyone that knows what's going on, they have given a crayon to the map, drawn funny little districts. I'm now running for the new 18th House District, which is truly central. It will have all of Ohio State, all of downtown Columbus, all of the Short North, Grandview Heights, German Village, Marion Village, a sliver of Old Town East, and all of the Paxwood. 60% of that's a new district, so we've been working very hard, just like Heather Bishop mentioned, going out, knocking on doors, getting to meet our new voters. I was very impressed by the statements I heard about voting. Prior to serving in the legislature, I was the director of the Franklin County Board of Elections. I took on that role 100 days before the 2008 presidential election. And let me tell you, it's just as tough when you're a candidate as you are as being the director of the board. We are in a very crucial time. I know many of the students aren't old enough to vote, but take the time, learn who your state reps are, learn who the other candidates are. I know I talked to a group, but weren't exactly sure with the new map who your reps were. But you'll eventually hit the age where you're of voting, you're going to have government classes, you're going to have other questions. Contact us. We're down there to be a resource for you. We are your voice. Just because you're not old enough to vote doesn't mean you have great ideas, doesn't mean that you have thoughts that we can encourage to be part of the law. I know many high school students have lots of concerns about texting while voting or texting while driving. And your support and your expression of why you thought there should be a state law helped push that over and why we finally got something signed. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here. For those that I haven't had the opportunity to meet, I look forward to doing that soon. Thank you so much.
Well, I just went up to Daisha and I said, Daisha, when are you going to run for office? I took some notes from Daisha's talk. My name is Maureen Reedy. I am a mother, I'm a wife, a teacher of 29 years. I was honored as Ohio's Teacher of the Year in 2002. And I've called Columbus home my entire life. I went to Fairmore Elementary and Eastmore Junior and Eastmore Senior High School and got a darn good education. You know, Daisha, you talked about having input to have impact. And I'm very impressed with all of you here tonight. You are unpacking the layers and the complexities of our democracy. And that's why I'm running. I'm running because I believe in our democracy. I've taught the foundations of democracy to my 4th and 5th grade students for 29 years. We've had mock elections. We've had the high schoolers come over, and my 5th graders have been moderators for high school candidates and asked them pretty complex questions. We've made voting booths. We've had each class vote. We've calculated the electoral vote for each classroom based on their population. Each of my students has researched relevant issues as 5th graders because it starts now. It starts when you're young. My grandmother lit the fire for me politically. She lived till she was 101. She was failing from kidneys. She had kidney failure, no pain. The priest came to the door to give her communion. In the last few weeks, she had her own apartment, her own dog, 101. She goes, Father, never mind communion. Who are you voting for? So I get some of that spitfire from my grandmother. I'm stepping out of my classroom, taking a personal leave to run, because I'm worried. I'm worried that economic and educational opportunities are slipping away for our children today, who will become our leaders of tomorrow. I'm worried that despite our lifelong investment in our homes as parents, our children will face more obstacles than we face. and will not be able to build secure and successful futures for themselves. I'm worried that public education, the foundation of our democracy, is being divested in instead of invested in. We must invest in public education. That was my way, raised by a single mother, 4 of us, to build a successful career, meet my husband, raise my children, and I want the same opportunities for them. So I am stepping out of my classroom into the State House to work to preserve our democracy with a team of legislators who are going to listen to all of you, even if you're not of voting age. Come and see me. Tell me your ideas. Invite me to your schools. You are awesome. What you're doing is building your future and sustaining our country's future. And to close, Coretta Scott King said, freedom is never really won. You win it and you earn it in every generation. And your generation is earning it by bringing all of us here tonight. And I thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yes. I can't tell whether you're hearing me okay or not. Anyway, I am Mary Ellen O'Shaughnessy. I am clerk of Common Pleas Court for Franklin County. I'm also clerk for the 10th District Court of Appeals. What does that mean? That means I process all the court documents for the largest court of its kind in the state. I also issue auto titles. I've been doing this thanks to you and your vote for 4 years now. I'm up for re-election. I'm unopposed. But I want to stand before you to ask for your vote once again and make sure that you understand that I want to give a report to the community after 4 years. You sent me for 4 years. You're going to send me for another 4 years. Let me tell you what's going on in the clerk's office. We worked very hard to instill these 3 aspirations, and actually I think we're really beginning to hit the mark. Timeliness, accuracy, and courtesy. We work on these every day, day in and day out, so it becomes a culture with my 215 plus employees who are spread throughout the county. Now, my job has been very much change management, because there are profound changes going on in the clerk's office right now. First of all, we instituted within the first 6 months of my tenure online access to court documents. Online access to court documents so that you can see what's going on. These are public documents. They are, we redact any personal identifiers to make sure that people don't end up with identity theft, but you have access to those court records. Next, we moved into the new courthouse with my civil division, my criminal division, and my records division. That's 65 of my employees. And they have a wonderful new working space now, which has helped their productivity. Third thing, we're in the midst of, right now, can you hear me?
Yep.
Third thing, we're in the midst of a 3-year program to institute e-filing of court documents throughout the court system. It is a massive task, but we are being phenomenally successful. We are online with our civil division. We have begun with our domestic division. You'll hear some of our domestic judges today. And we are doing our appeals division right now. We're going to come back with juvenile and then criminal division over this 3-year-long process. It's a massive undertaking. So you can see that as your clerk, change management is what it's been all about for me. It's a delight to serve you. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. I'm Mary Ellen O'Shaughnessy. I'm your clerk of Common Pleas Court. Thank you for being here. And Mike Curtin next.
All right, Mike Curtin, you're up next.
Thank you. Mike Curtin, C-U-R-T-I-N, Curtin like on a window with no A. In the new 17th Ohio House District, it's Mike Curtin. I'm the Democratic candidate. The Republican is Nick Szabo, S-Z-A-B-O. So you've got Mike Curtin and Nick Szabo running in the new 17th District, which is most of the west side of Columbus and most of the far south side. It's a horrible looking district. It looks like a seahorse that ran into a boat propeller, all chopped up. So I'm not going to spend time touting myself, because far more important than my election is the election for State Issue 2. I commend you for the work you did. I toured your exhibit, and I'm going to submit, if I'm elected, a bill in the legislature to give Metro High School the job of drawing new districts for... They're split up, they split neighborhoods, they split neighbor from neighbor. They are an abuse of power. They are corrupt. So whatever reservations you might have about State Issue 2, it would give us coherent districts that respect communities. What we have is a corruption that doesn't do that. Nick Zay was a good guy. I think I'm a good guy. He's young, I'm old. I spent 38 years at the Columbus Dispatch doing newspaper work, studying state and local government. If I am elected, I'm going to try to put that studiousness to work, to try to work on structural reforms like reapportionment reform if Issue 2 doesn't pass, term limit reform, tax simplification, and things that will benefit you, your kids, and grandkids for generations, because that's what Ohio needs. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'll go with it. My name is State Representative Tracy Hurd, and I am the current representative for District 26 in the Ohio House of Representatives. I have the pleasure also of serving in a leadership position as the minority whip, and basically that means that I manage the legislation and make sure I know how many votes we have before we go on to the floor. My platform from the very beginning really has not changed. It's been about economic development, education, energy, and the environment. But I had a surprise that came my way about 4 years ago. I was asked to take on an issue, but it ended up being my major work for the next 4 years. Fortunately, it resulted in 2 pieces of legislation that we've had passed in the General Assembly during this GA, both in 2011 and 2012. And that was House Bill 86 for sentencing reform and Senate Bill 337 for collateral sanctions. Took a long time, work that we really needed to get done. We did it in a bipartisan fashion. Both the House and the Senate worked together, and the governor supported it. Funny how that happened. Actually, the way it's supposed to work. And to the great success for all of Ohioans, we were successful in the legislature. So you don't always get to really stick to what your platform is. Sometimes you have to respond to what the needs of the community and the state are at that time. Where I'm committing my last term, my last 2 years, I'm going into my final 2, is to try to get us back into the middle. I think the public has already made it very clear that they're not really happy with the extreme bipartisanship that we have, and having had an opportunity to work and get some success in a bipartisan manner, what I'm hoping is that I can be one of the leaders to bring us back to the middle so we can get back to the business of governing and be more responsible to the people who send us to serve them in Columbus. So again, I'm State Representative Tracy Maxwell Hurd. I serve the east and south sides of Columbus. I encourage you to make sure that you participate. If you're interested, make sure you run, but whatever you do, make sure that your voice is heard. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right, how many of you know that early voting begins on October 2nd? And those of you who are not registered must be registered to vote in the November 6th general election by October 9th. How many know? Make sure you get out. Make sure you get to your neighbors, your friends, and those students back there that can register you. If you are not registered, we want you to talk to them, okay? Thank you so very much. Up next, Harry J. Brown.
Good evening. Thank you all very much for being here this evening. Thank you to our hosts, and thank you to such a wonderful group of students. I've never seen so many people so excited about government in my entire life, and it's great to see that. My name is Terry Brown. I'm the Democratic candidate for Franklin County Recorder, and I'm just going to take a few minutes to tell you why Terry Brown won't let you down. The first thing you need to know about me is where I got my work ethic. You know, I learned it directly from my father. I moved in with him when I was 12 years old, and he looked at me and he said, "Son, I'm going to tell you 2 things. First of all, I've got all the basics covered. Second, if you want anything else, get a job." So I got a job. I started delivering newspapers. I started with 1 route, had 2 routes, and then eventually picked up enough customers to have 2.5. And on weekends and breaks from school, I, of course, went and worked with my dad working construction. I learned how to install, refinish, sand, and repair hardwood floors. And he told me, he said, "I know you're probably not going to end up in this field, but it's important that you have a skill that you can always rely on, and that skill has taken me through. Not just the ability to do that work, but my work ethic. I started public service under former County Treasurer Richard Murráy. And at that point, my experience with public service was pretty much lines at the BMV and calling places where you were happy if you heard the word next, and you were very unhappy when you heard, you're not supposed to be here, go somewhere else. In that office, I learned what public service really could be. I was a member of the Franklin County Joint Benefits Committee when it was founded, and we brought together members of labor and management from across Franklin, Fairfield, and Pickaway counties to save Franklin County alone over $6 million in just 2 years by making changes to the health care plan that everybody agreed on. We also looked to make sure that we put the service into public service. I sat across the table from a lot of people in my time in the Treasurer's office who were losing their homes. Through no fault of their own, we saw the economy begin its downturn. And I would talk to people who were telling me, you know what, I'll skip the electric bill this month, I can float it and I can make my payment on my taxes. And we didn't want to see that. So what we did is we put together a packet for every single person. When someone came into our office and they shared their story with us, we gave them information on how they could help redirect their funds and save money through public and private agencies to help them pay their bills, put food on their table, and clothes on their kids' backs. Government has two choices. It can stop where the statute says, or it can give people a helping hand. And as your Franklin County Recorder, it is my plan, when I'm elected, to do that. To take the office and take it to the next level so that everyone ends up with a better life. My name's Terry Brown. I'm your candidate for Franklin County Recorder. And remember, Terry Brown won't let you down.
This gentleman is running for sheriff, and I want to pronounce his name correctly. I think it's Michael Garreau.
Yes. Good evening. I'm Mike Carroll. First of all, what does the term sheriff mean? It means the keeper of peace for the shire. Two old English terms that they put together back in jolly old England to keep the peace. That's who Robin Hood always brought. Today, we still have the position of sheriff under the state law. And our first sheriff in this area was a guy named Ebenezer Sprout. You go back to your history books, we went over this territory in 1787. He was named the first sheriff. That's why if you look on the sheriff's recruiters today, it says serving since 1788. I want to be your sheriff. And why do I want to be your sheriff? Because I think I can do the job. I know I can do the job. I was there for 30 years, held the rank of major. I commanded anywhere from 250 to 275 people under my command. I'm a graduate of Otterbein College, now university. Also a graduate at Brookhaven High School. During my tenure at the Sheriff's Office, I was a graduate of the Northwestern Police School and Staff Command, a graduate of the American Jail Association Leadership Program, a graduate of the Correctional Leadership Program for the Department of Justice out in Colorado. When I learned those things, I applied them. There's two things that we need to concentrate on my platform. One is you young people and people younger than you. Every day you read in the newspaper or weekly where a young child has either been stolen, they've been abused by a predator through the internet. We need to concentrate on that. Recently there was a bill that was passed in the state Senate, the state House, and signed by the governor, which cracks down on white slavery, the trading of young people for sexual desires of perverts. We need to continue that, and we need to expand that. The second thing we need to do as sheriff is we need to be good steward of your tax dollars. There's been a lot of things in the papers lately about that. I have the experience to correct that. As a major, as a lieutenant at the Sheriff's Office, I prepared over 15 budgets or participated in over 15 budgets. In the units I was over, I know how to solve what's going on, what the wrongs are. I asked for your vote in November, and by the way, students, good job. This is very impressive. I wish we had something like this in Upland High School. Thank you.
I'm currently one of your Franklin County juvenile and domestic judges. I do not have an opponent this year, but because I didn't have an opponent didn't mean that I didn't think that I needed to come out here tonight and personally thank you all for your interest in our election process and hosting this event. So let me thank Metro High School, the League of Women Voters, and all of their coalition partners. It's so important. I got involved in judicial politics because I believed it was very important that we had judicial candidates and judges that actually knew what they were doing from the area of law that they were sitting on. I had been a domestic lawyer for 18 years before I ran, and when I kept saying that, everyone said, well, you're going to do something about it, and I thought that I finally had to. So I've had the pleasure of serving you for 6 years. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, reintroduce myself to you, and tell you much as Mary Ellen Shaughnessy wanted to report to you about what's been going on at our juvenile domestic court and what I plan to do with my next 6 years. First of all, I grew up here in the Columbus, Ohio area. I was very blessed to be raised in a family that knew no difference as to what color, religion, sexual orientation, or criminal background that anyone had that sat at our table. Our home was open to everyone. My parents were extremely forgiving people and extremely open to that. That diversity in my background, I think, has helped me on the domestic and juvenile bench here in Franklin County, which is an extremely diverse county. And so I was raised here, went to OSU College of Law, now called Marin College of Law, and practiced in family law, as I told you, so I took the bench. Since I've taken the bench, I've worked very hard on matters that are close to my heart. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about what my bench does. We are the domestic and juvenile court. Domestic handles things like divorce, child support, dissolution, custody, things like that. The juvenile court handles abuse, neglect, dependency cases, delinquency cases, and things like truancy that are what we call unruly or status offenses. As you can see, that covers almost the gamut that every family at some point, at some level, touches my court. I have tried to work very hard, particularly on the domestic side, to get case management under control to help families that are going through the process to make sure that they are timely heard. On the juvenile side, I've worked very hard to make sure that we have representation, that children have mentors, and to make sure that we are reducing our juvenile population and disproportionate minority contact. I'm Elizabeth Gill. I promise you that I'm going to continue to work for these issues. Thank you again.
All right, let's hear it for Julie Bueller, please.
Good evening. Is it working? My name is Julie Bueller. It's spelled H-U-B-L-E-R. I have my T-shirt, my polo shirt on with me. And thank you so much for 6 of the students who distributed my literature piece during our break. I guess what's really important to you folks is why are we here tonight? Again, my name is Julie Bueller. I'm running for Franklin County Treasurer. Treasurer, what does treasurer do? It's county backer. Basically, this is what we do at home, right? Mom and dad has to bring in, or mom or dad, whatever the case may be, bring in, say, $1,000. We pay mortgage, we pay rent, insurance, grocery, whatever's left. What do we have to do with that money? We have to make sure we have enough cash to pay everything on time. That's the liquidity. Make sure we have everything paid on time, and then we have say $50 left, and we have to safely invest that, put away for rainy days. In a nutshell, that's what county treasurer does. All of your students, I want you to make sure that you go home with my literature piece and go to my website, HUBLERFOR Treasure, HuberForTreasure.com, and I want you to read my story. Only in America and that is my favorite place. Only in America I have a chance to grab this microphone. I was born in South Korea. My mom, a single mom, wanted to have a better life, brought me, my brother, who is an ordained Catholic priest with a 4th degree black belt. Combination thereof. Myself, a beautiful child, inner city, literally ghettos of Cincinnati, Ohio. I worked really, really hard. This compassionate country gave me an opportunity to go to college. So I got merit scholarship to go to University of Cincinnati, and I wanted to know how the system worked. So I studied two things, right? Politics and money. So I studied economics and political science. After that, this even greater country gave me up, and I'm only talking to the students. All the adults, I know you see me, you've seen my literature, but the students, it's really incredibly important to me for you to understand what I'm telling you. After my college, I got congressional fellowship to get my master's in business administration. Once again, what did I study? Management and marketing. I wanted to know how organizations work.
30 seconds.
Thank you. After that, I came up to Ohio State Law School and studied law. My husband of 30, almost 30, 29 going on. And I want you to look at my pictures. I have two daughters. One is a mechanical engineer from the Ohio State, another one junior in college. I want you to go home and look at the study. This is what America is all about. And I'll ask you young folks to get me one vote or two votes out of your household. So thank you very much. Again, my name is Julie Huber, and I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Seth Golding. I'm running for the 25th House District. I'm from Splitsville, Columbus, Ohio, and I have a daughter who goes to this school, so I know how great this school is. And I also have a daughter who graduated last year from here, Julie Golding and Sarah Golding, freshmen here. And the projects are awesome. The puzzle piece district map, amazing. But anyhow, I am truly honored to run for the 25th House District. That's a little bit of Clintonville, a little bit of the University District, and on the east side of the railroad tracks to the airport, and from 161 to Bexley area. So anyhow, I'm past president of the University Area Commission, and I'm really concerned about jobs, and Ohio's coming back slowly, but we still have 1 in 10 people not working. It's very important. I would support Governor Kasich in making Ohio as job-friendly businesses, so they would think of Ohio as a place to move, a place to come. Think tax abatements and just reduce taxes for businesses, stimulate growth. I also believe we should keep a safety net for the folks who have lost their jobs. It's very important. A lot of people are suffering out there, and it's important we make sure they're taken care of. Also, being president of the University Area Commission, the university is sort of autonomous with their budget. They want to spend $300 million taxpayer dollars to build dorms, mandatory that students live in them, sophomores to start. That would cost $300 million to build these dorms. That would raise the cost of college, OSU, $400 a month for students, which to me is almost criminal. If you have to have the meal plan, that's $300, and it would be at least another $100 in higher rent. So I think at this time when the economy is the worst that it's been since the Great Depression, that we shouldn't make the cost of college higher, and especially with no job market. So anyhow, I'm working for, I would be working for you to try to rein in the university. And personally, I'd like to make it just for Ohio kids. It's a land-grant college founded for the kids of Ohio. And I think kids of Ohio are the best and the brightest.
sponsors. I am Joyce Beatty. I am Joyce Beatty. I am Joyce Beatty, and I'm running for the new 3rd Congressional District because I want to serve you. I served in the Ohio House of Representatives as the first female Democrat to be the House leader. And I want to thank you. And I want to come back here to the system to say, one of the deliverables I gave was being able to get the 5 votes we needed for STEM education, thus creating this school. So I serve you. I work for you. It's a district that's about the diversity of this wonderful state, the 7th state in this nation. And just think, for the first time in our history, we can have Joyce Beatty go to Congress representing you, standing up, fighting for you, fighting for our economy, bringing stability back so little girls like you and young men like you can say that there was someone who stood up for me so we can make a difference, so we can have quality, affordable education, so we can make sure if you have a pre-existing illness that you can still go to the hospital and be treated. I want to run because I've served most of my life. I went to public school. I got a good education because I had a mother and father that went to work every day and told me to always remember to try to make a difference, to be nice to people, and to do well in school. So I say to you, I am the right candidate. I have gone to Washington. I have met with people on both sides of the aisle. Because, see, we have to send someone who believes in civility, someone who will stop the bipartisan meanness because we're getting nowhere. I also will go and make sure, thank you, that we no longer have short-term fixes. You can't balance your checkbook that way. You can't run a business that way. I'm a small business owner. I'll stand up for small businesses. I'll stand up for teachers. I'll stand up for doctors and those who are in the union because the wonderful district of the 3rd District represents most of the city of Columbus, but it has 29 other communities there. My district looks like this. And we want to be able to say that we sent someone who understands you. I've been endorsed by more than 110 different individuals and groups. I ran in a tough primary and I won because of you. And lastly, you can't be a good candidate, you can't be a good friend unless you make the ask. I'm asking you to vote for me because I am Joyce Beatty and I approve this message.
We're coming to the end of this first segment for the candidates. We're going to have one more before we take a break and hear from some of the students for their democracy poster event and for the non-partisan voter registration wrap-off that's coming up too. Mr. Richard Murráy, Airborne, U.S. Congress.
Difficult to follow after all that energy from Joyce. Thank you for the charisma and the passion. And I'm one of those individuals who has a lot of charisma and passion as well. My name is Richard Airbar. I am the Libertarian candidate for Congress here in the 3rd District, same district as Joyce. I want to thank the League of Women Voters, and I want to thank NAACP for inviting us here today. And thank you to a young man whose first name is Ali. I think it begins with an R, Ruckman. He's the individual who sent me the email to come and participate today. So if he's here, can he stand up? Ali? A little bit of a background about myself. I am the underdog in this race. I'm a third-party candidate. The Libertarian Party is the 3rd largest party in America, behind the Republicans and the Democrats. Lost my train of thought here. I'm 30 years old. I'm a student at The Ohio State University, currently on leave. I'm a strategic communication major. I spent 3 years at Bowling Green State University as a telecommunications major. I was a radio disc jockey. I did color commentary and play-by-play for women's basketball during 2006-2007. We had a Sweet 16 record-setting basketball team that year at BGSU. I don't have executive experience. Like I said, I'm the underdog.
I have a different set of ideas for government. We need a government, the role of government, the proper role of government. I'm going to set the tone here today so that we know. This is what libertarians believe in. This is what I believe in. This is the proper role of government. To protect the individual from the initiation of unjust force. I'm the candidate in this district who will protect your mind and body from just that, unjust force. That means a lot of things. That means we need to first promote a policy that doesn't send the young women and children who are here and about to graduate over to wars for unjust causes. I'm the candidate who will advocate to bring the troops home from all of our wars. Quit spending $1.3 trillion per year over in Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya and Pakistan and other places that we're bombing. I'm also the candidate who's going to restore individual rights. Everything is about individual rights, the right of the individual to be free. That means we need to get rid of the Patriot Act. That means we need to repeal Section 1021 of the National Defense Authorization Act, which, if you don't know, is a provision which allows the President to basically summon the military to arrest individuals here in this country. President Obama supports that. I'm against it. I don't believe that the military should be used here on American soil. It violates the Posse Comitatus Act. I'm also the individual who will advocate for a sound money system. That means when you come home at the end of the week with your paycheck, you get to keep all the fruits of your labor. Man is an integrated being, a mind and body, has the right to keep all of that which is a mind, is a product of their mind and body. I'm also going to advocate for businesses. We need to end taxes and burdensome regulations on our businesses, which are killing jobs. So if you're a small business owner, a medium-sized business owner, or a larger business owner, you have the right to all that which is a product of your efforts. And also, last but not least, thank you, I will stop on this point. It is time to end the bailouts of the banks, of the corporations, and for special interests. No more lobbyists here in government. It is time for individuals to stand up for the people.
The wrap-off winners for the voter registration wrap-off. Here we are with those poster winners right now.
Next we have the Lady Morphew, another Metro High School student. I tell you, when we were judging these posters, the judges were so impressed. Originally we were just going to give out 3 awards, but they came up with more money. So we're giving out 6. Another one, Metro High School, of kids who don't use their last names on the back of the poster. They are Margot, Scott, Matt, and Anna Lisa. And our final poster winner for tonight from Reynoldsburg High School is Cynthia Caldwell. In addition to posters, which they did back in my day, we also had a wrap-up, which they did not do in my day, and nobody would have stood up and recited a poem about voting. But we had 16 fabulous raps, and we are going to play for you. They just put it up on YouTube and give us a link. So we're going to link to their YouTube videos of the top 3, and their words are going to be running down the side. So in no particular order, you'll hear the 3 winning raps.
Do you want to make a change in this world of today? Because they say small groups can change the country's life, but if you want to have a say, because you think things should stay the way they are, you've got to vote to see a better day. You got to vote. If you want to have a vote, you got to vote. Because you have freedom of print, you got to vote. If you want to see a change that you don't, then the world is this. Democrat, Republican, and Independent too. You've got to choose your favorite candidate and tell them what to do. It doesn't matter where you came from or really where you go. Right now, you're a citizen, so just say nothing, but you got to vote. If you want to have a vote, you got to vote. And you got to vote. You want to see it. If you know around the world, then you really got to know how hard it can be. You can register in school or even public libraries, and if you didn't know your vote, then you really can't complain because you didn't try as hard as you got to vote. You got to vote. If you have freedom of choice, you got to vote. If you want to see a change in the world, then the world stays the same. Now, we take this for granted, but there are people in the world who really don't get to vote. So be thankful for this chance and having your say. And register to vote before it's actually too late. You gotta vote. If you want to have a voice, you gotta vote. Because you have freedom of choice, you gotta vote. If you want to see a change, because if you don't, then the world stays the same.
Josie's on with others to be and here's our next one.
We're not.
This is a rap for American history on why you should vote. Performing in the video are me, Jordan Ribbit, on vocals and guitar, and Katie Freidemaker on guitar.
Links to these wraps up on our website, and I bet Metro will too, so if you want to hear them again. And here's our final wrap winner for tonight.
You gotta
take too long, and I think we're ready to start again. So thank you all again for coming, and we'll get back to the very patient Cynthia.
You got it. Come on, baby. You're up there. Come on. Kevin Boyce, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Kevin.
All right, my name is Kevin Boyce, and I am a member of the Ohio House of Representatives, newly appointed just a couple of months ago, filling a vacant seat in the House of Representatives. I was born and raised right here in Columbus. Grew up on the east side and in the Linden area, kind of went back and forth with my own grandma. Served on Columbus City Council for nearly a decade, if you can believe that. I know you're thinking, I look like I'm 16. But actually, I served on the council for almost a decade. I served as the treasurer of the great state of Ohio for 2 years, and now I'm serving as a member of the Ohio House of Representatives. Just a few things I'd like to share with you. When I was young, my father passed away when I was about 7, and so I was raised by my grandmother. And my grandmother taught me one of the most valuable lessons that I would ever learn in life. I was 16 years old, and I went to my grandmother, and I asked her to help me purchase a new pair of sneakers. She enthusiastically said, okay, grabbed her keys, her wallet, and her purse, and immediately we're out the door in the car. I'm happy. She's excited. We're driving down the road to the store. Love is in the air. A few minutes later, we pulled up to the local grocery store where she took me in to fill out a job application. The message then is the same today. If you want something in life, perhaps someone will provide the opportunity for you, but it's simply up to you to take advantage of that. I know that politicians every year stand up and say this is the most important election of your lifetime. Well, they say that because it's true. Every election is the most important election of your lifetime. And this is our opportunity someone's given to you, and it's up to who to take advantage. That's right. It's up to you to take advantage of it. The second lesson that my grandmother taught me, how much time do I have? Okay, 32 minutes, 3 minutes? Okay, great. The second lesson my grandmother taught me, she would have all these lessons, she would have all these chores for me to do every day, Ron. And I'd come down and the list would be there, and so one day she had me go out and pick the weeds in the yard. Now, you know, I had to water the house plants and pick the weeds out of the yard. Now, I don't know about you, but if you ever dealt with house plants, you got to do everything in the world to take care of that house plant. Second, oh my gosh. And you got to do just about nothing to take care of the weeds, because anything you do to the weeds, they'll live. And the point is that just like the weed, different than a house plant where you need everything perfect to survive and to do well, the weeds can survive under any circumstances. And that's really what being in America is about. And our challenges that we face over the last 2 years have been just a glitch in our history. But I know as Americans will overcome. I'm excited to be a member of the House of Representatives and join the fight. And once again, ask for your vote as a member of the House of Representatives. Kevin Boyce, 25th House District. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm Jim Reese, and I'm running the 12th Congressional District here in Ohio. I really appreciate and I'm honored to have the opportunity to address so many intelligent, engaged, driven, young American citizens. You are the future of this country, and it is absolutely key that you exercise your right to vote and preserve our democracy through your action, your information, and your decision this fall. I am running for Congress here in the 12th Congressional District with specific purpose to improve the American economy. We find ourselves in the depths of the worst recession since the Great Depression. And that is not without purpose. That is not without cause. That is not by happenstance. Because we, the greatest country of inventors and manufacturers in the world, have outsourced our talents. We, the greatest in the world, Ohio, the greatest in the world, OH, invented that. This is a country of inventors. I look at this robot over here in the corner, put together by the students of this school, and know that you are our future. And I am running for Congress to preserve that future, to make sure that we preserve American manufacturing, that we change our tax code to favor made in America instead of imported from China. This is crucial. This is key. And while many of our politicians dance around the issue, many of our politicians talk fear, many of our politicians talk inaction, we must, as Americans, take action to preserve our heritage of invention and manufacture. I'm running for Congress with specific purpose to provide opportunity to small business owners, to make credit available, because small business owners innovate. Small business owners deliver products to market. And even if it's one person at a time, small business owners will hire people and put Americans back to work and will reduce the unemployment rate. But most importantly, I'm running because I believe in trickle-up economics. I believe that if you pay the American worker and you put the American worker to work, he will go out, she will go out and buy the products that are demanded in the marketplace and thus create prosperity for everyone, driving demand, increasing inventory, and making more jobs for more people. I'm Jim Reese, and I'm running in the 12th Congressional District to fix the American economy and fight for you in Washington, D.C.
Good evening. I want you to know that it is an honor to stand here in the back. I was sharing in the back that I didn't even need to be up here. It's you that need to be up here. The spotlight needs to be on you because you are the ones that are so important, because you are our future and your minds are vast and you dream the unbelievable dream. I was sharing with some young ladies before I came up to the front about the fact that there were so many things that they wanted to do, and they couldn't decide what it is that they wanted to do. They couldn't pick something to do. Well, let me help you today with that direction. My name is Tracy Johnson. My friends call me TJ. I'm candidate for state representative of the 23rd Ohio House District, and I'm running because dreams do come true. Anything that you put your mind to, you can do. I don't care if it's creating comic books. I don't care if it's being a pediatrician. I don't care if it's being an astronaut or going to the moon. Whatever you want to do in life, you can do. I'm running for office because I want to be a state representative. And that's my dream. And my dream is going to come true. And it has come true. Because I don't really have to be in the State House to represent people. I can represent people every day at work. I can represent people every day at church. I can feed the homeless and represent people. I can help a lady cross the street and represent people. I can pull out a chair for the person next to me. I can say thank you and please. That's representing people. I'm running for office not just to represent people, but because people are in need, and they need someone in office that are going to solve issues. They need more than thank you and please. They need, I need. And I'm here to solve that need. I'm running because the decisions that are being made in the State House by some of the leaders are having a catastrophic impact on working families, the middle class, and the working poor as it pertains to education and jobs, bringing down escalating health care costs and funding education. Our leaders have not made education a priority. That impacts me and that impacts you. $800 million has been cut from education. $1.1 billion has been cut from our community. That impacts our police, our firemen, our necessary services. So I'm running for office because of you. I'm running because you deserve to have a job when you graduate. I'm running for office because you deserve to be able to afford college. You deserve not to be in debt when you graduate. I'm asking them to elect Tracy T.J. Johnson because I'm here to fight for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Stephen McIntosh.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank all the sponsors for this event. It's wonderful once again to see all the young people here and seeing you engage in the political process. My name is Stephen McIntosh. I am a judge in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. The Common Pleas Court is the court that deals with felonies, if you're not familiar with it. We deal with rapes, murders, and on the civil side, we deal with cases in which the amount of controversy can be any amount. Okay, it's extremely important that you get to know who your judges are. You know, while there are many other people running for offices, and they are very important, just as Judge Gill indicated earlier, the decisions we make each and every day affect a lot of people. Of the judges in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, we have between somewhere in the neighborhood of about 700 to 800 cases per judge. So every month I get rid of about 100, 110 cases, and I pick up about another 100, 110 cases. Can you imagine the number of people that come before me each and every day and the decisions that I make that impact and affect them? One of the most important decisions we as judges make is we have the opportunity each and every day to send people to prison. Now, wouldn't you want to be able to know the individual that's making those kind of decisions? Whether or not prison is something appropriate for an individual, or whether there are options out in the community that better serve the individual as well as the community. So it's extremely important that you find out who your judges are, because generally speaking, as elections go, the judges are the ones that people know the least about and then tend not to vote for. So it's very important that you do your homework, find out who we are, find out what we stand for, and get a good sense as to the type of individual that's on the bench. Now, I have the privilege, the honor of being able to run unopposed. I've just finished my first year on the bench, and fortunately I will have an opportunity for a second term on the bench as a judge. I take my responsibility extremely serious, and please, for the teachers or the students at any point in time, if you'd like to come down to my courtroom, please feel free to do so, because I think it's important that you understand and appreciate exactly what goes on in the court system each and every day. So please, this November, vote for Stephen McIntosh as judge in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. Get involved in the process. You know, it's easy to vote for the president only because everyone knows what the president stands for. Go down the ticket, find out about everyone else. Thank you very much for the opportunity that I have had to serve you, and I look forward to continuing to serve you for another 6 years. Thank you.
Also, issued out of jail free card. All you have to do is this is Terry Jameson.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Jameson. I want to be a judge in the Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court. Judge Gill told you a lot about the court, but I currently am an attorney, and I represent juveniles, I represent parents in abuse, neglect, dependency cases, and I represent defendants in criminal actions. I also serve as a guardian ad litem for the court. I go into the homes and do an investigation and come back and give a report to the court about what's in the best interest of a child. I work on domestic relations cases where the parents are getting a divorce and they're arguing over where you children are going to go to school, what you're going to do with your life, and how they're going to parent you since they're no longer married. I see people all the time in crisis. If you come in before the court, you're coming because you've had a crisis, and that's what's bringing you to the court. I want to be a judge so that I can help to heal as well as govern over the cases that come. The domestic cases sometimes take a long time, and that takes a long time for people to heal their families. We need to expedite those cases so that families can start the healing process and children can get some stability in their lives. I want to be a judge because parents need help, children need help, and I have been in social work since I was young. I've been a small business owner. I had an insurance agency for 16 years. I've also been a hearing officer for the state of Ohio. I've been a member of the OCSEA union, and I've been a member of a union that you probably have never heard of. I was born and raised in West Virginia, and I was one of the first women coal miners. I was a member of the UMWA in West Virginia. So I am a hard worker. I've made a lot of different changes in my life. I've come to Ohio because of the coal mines shutting down, and I came here and I hadn't even finished my college education. I finished it at Franklin University right here in Columbus, Ohio, and I went to Capital University Law School. So I'm here to tell you, you can be anything that you want to be, and your parents can also instill the desire. My mother wanted someone in her family to be a lawyer. She didn't live to see it, but I'm standing here today because my mother had a dream and my mother had a vision. I hope that you'll vote for me. My name is Terry Jameson. I want to be your judge in domestic relations and juvenile court.
You guys have been a wonderful audience. We have a few candidates left, and we're running right on time, so we want to thank you for that. Up next, Donna O'Connor.
Thank you to the Metro School students for hosting us tonight and all the other sponsors and coordinating this event. My name is Donna O'Connor. I'm a special education teacher at Delta Coffin High School. I love the kids that I teach, and I never dreamed I'd leave the job I love for politics. People ask me all the time, why are you running? I'm running because we need someone to protect and improve public education. I'm running because we need someone who approaches challenges as a community leader and to solve problems. I'm running because we need someone to put the people of our district first and not party politics. I'm running because we need a school funding formula that is constitutional, fair, and stable. A formula that doesn't put more burden on the local property owners. And a funding formula that does not change every time our elected officials change. That's what we do not need in Ohio. Balancing a budget on the shoulders of our students is not what we need. All that does is put our communities and our students at risk. It won't improve our schools or improve our economy. People ask me too, we need to keep investing in our kids so they can ask the questions of how come, what if, and now what. If we lose that opportunity to educate this group of youngsters and the ones that are even younger, we lose our competitive edge in this global economy. We need to create an environment for good paying jobs of the future. We don't get there by attacking the people and the services that provide the core services to those students, to their parents, and to the people in our community. I ask the question, who better to make sure we continue to invest in Ohio, we can continue to invest in our students, and to continue to invest in our communities than someone that has been doing that their entire career, a teacher. My name is Donna O'Connor, and I am running for the 21st House District, which is Dublin, Worthington, and a little bit of Northwest Columbus. I appreciate your attention, and remember, a teacher, not a politician. Thank you.
Bring up Ms. Kim Brown next.
today? Great. Good evening, everyone. I am Kim Brown, and I am a candidate endorsed by the Democratic Party for the open seat on Franklin County Common Pleas Court, the General Division. So I'm very excited to be here tonight and tell you a little bit about myself and why I feel I'm the right candidate for this position on the Common Pleas Court. And to do that, I'd kind of like to talk to you about my campaign slogan, because I think that kind of describes why I feel I'm the right candidate. And how we came up with that slogan. My campaign manager, Jen's here somewhere. There she is, Jen. She had our campaign team kind of sit down and think about 3 words that we all felt best described key characteristics that we would want in a judge. And after we did that, we came up with service, honesty, and experience. And so we came up with the slogan, Kim Brown for Judge, service, honesty, experience, she is one. And I'd like to tell you about, why we thought each of those characteristics were so important, and why I feel I have those characteristics to be a good Common Pleas Court judge here in Franklin County. That first characteristic is service. Our Common Pleas Court judges provide a valuable public service to our community. They are entrusted with ensuring that equal access to justice is provided to all, and that people receive fair and impartial and equal relief from the court. My personal commitment to public service started on my 17th birthday when I joined the United States Naval Reserve. I started with basic training the summer before my senior year in high school, and served during summers on active duty through college, and served during Operation Desert Storm back in 1991. My commitment to public service continued with my legal career. I've been an attorney here in Franklin County for 17 years with the law firm of Bricker Network. My practice is primarily for public entities. I do litigation work for school districts, cities, counties, and townships, and a lot of that here in Franklin County. I also have been very involved in pro bono work for residents in Franklin County, and I'm actually our firm's pro bono chair. And finally, I've also been involved in public board work here in Franklin County. I'm on the board of several community organizations, but in particular, I'm very involved with Life Care Alliance, which does Meals on Wheels on the Cancer Clinic project and other programs. Honesty, next part. I think it's important for our judges to have honesty and integrity. And I think the best representation of that is the reputation that you have in your community. I've been an attorney here in Franklin County for 17 years. And I've been honored with various awards and recognitions. I was voted a top Columbus attorney in 2005 by Columbus First. And I also was recently voted the preferred candidate in the Columbus Bar Association poll. Experience, that's the last one, real quick. I have been an attorney here in 17 years. Thank you so much.
Sheriff is that spot still in the house. Thank you. All right. Congratulations. You guys put this thing together. This is fantastic. Students, the League of Women Voters, everyone. This is fantastic. My name is Zach Scott. That's with 2 T's. And I am your Franklin County Sheriff. And just a little bit about me. I've worked in the Sheriff's Office for 27 and a half years. 26 years of that, I was a deputy up to a supervisor. I worked homicide for about 14. I worked SWAT for about 12 years. I worked undercover for a few years. I have been a very fortunate person because I love my job. I'm passionate about my job. I'm passionate about the things I've got to do over the years, and I'm very passionate about protection. That's what my focus has been. That's been my passion. For years, unfortunately for my wife, we could be on vacation anywhere in the world, and within 3 days, I was missing my work again. I'm passionate about this job. I love it. I would always feel like I was missing something, and when I had to call the guys back in the office and go, what did I miss out on, guys? Because I love to do this job that much. My passion is spilled over to my kids. My 2 kids, one is a Columbus police officer, and one is a deputy sheriff. They felt my passion and love for this job. About a little over a year and a couple months ago, my boss, Jim Carnes, you guys know who Jim Carnes was?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that was my boss, my mentor. He passed away. And before he passed away, they went to him and they said, who do you want to take your job if something would happen to you? And he said, Zach Scott. And so the party put me in his place because Jim Carnes knew my passion for this job. Now I've been your sheriff for the last year and 3 months. Since then, my passion has not changed. It's still protection. It's protection for our communities. I work with different agencies all the time that we combine efforts to make sure that all our communities are safe. I work for protecting our tax dollars. Since I've been in, we've saved around $2 billion between food costs and some overtime issues. So $2 million protecting, again, your tax dollars. Protecting our children. We have an Internet Crimes Against Task Force. It's an Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. It's phenomenal. It's starting to teach the whole state now. And we're just finishing up a curriculum that's going to be the first that I know of in the state of Ohio that will be teaching 7th graders about human trafficking and the tricks that these pimps play on our children to try to get them involved in human trafficking. When it comes to our seniors, we're starting to work with seniors as far as improving their driving skills. And I got 30 seconds. So, it's all about leadership, experience. Leadership is about doing it and getting positive results, which I've done my entire career. And my last thing back to the students in the back, pick a career that you are passionate about, and you'll never feel like you worked a day in your life. Thank you.
And we're coming down to our final candidates. Before we get to that, we'd like to just say thank you so very much for coming out. We want to thank our timers. Give them a big round of applause. We want to thank our voter registration students in the back and all the students that are participating, our award winners, posters, videos, and of course you, the audience. You've been a wonderful audience, and we want to thank you so very much for coming out. Our last candidate, Valoria Hoover.
Thank you. All right, well, we're not going to have that tonight. That's okay.
Maybe there we go. Thank you very much for staying here for as long as you have. I appreciate it. Thank you to the students for putting this together, to the Ohio Women's League of Voters. I appreciate that, the NAACP. My name is Valoria Hoover. I'm running for Franklin County Common Pleas Court. And Valoria is a little unique. As my mother told me when I was 6, tell people it rhymes with Gloria. Valoria. So if you guys can, I'm thinking maybe I can start a rap there and be part of the students' rap next time. I've been an attorney, well actually I've had legal experience since I was 17 years old age when I was in the Army. I've been 25 years in doing legal work. I have been a partner in 2 different law firms. I have been a special counsel to the Ohio Attorney General for 6 different Ohio Attorney Generals, both Republican and Democrats. I have been at the Ohio Supreme Court working with a judge, Justice Cook, and at the Court of Appeals, having worked as a judicial attorney. So I have a bench-side experience, which is one of the reasons why I'm running. I'm a mother, a wife, and I am the daughter of a teacher and the sister of a teacher, so I feel very comfortable in the high school setting. One of the things that I've done on community services, I am a Columbus State Community College trustee, but I also am a mock trial coach for Woodward Park Middle School, Columbus Middle School. And what I like about being the mock trial coach for Woodward Park Middle School is that I get to go in and talk to the students and tell them exactly what I think needs to be done in the case. And I give them my 3 rules. Prepare, prepare, prepare. And it is wonderful, and it's wonderful to be part of their joy when they succeed in having prepared. When they've gone up and gone against a school that they didn't think that they would be able to beat, it is great to be part of that, where they've gotten the superior, the attorney, best, and they've also gotten the best witness award. I appreciate all of the work that they've done and been part of that.
As far as judges, you've heard from others tonight that you don't have the same fervor of making sure that you know who your candidates are. And you go into that booth and you say, who should I vote for? And I just want to say one last thing. I would ask you to remember to vote for, as my daughter has said, Hoover, Sweeper, Justice, Keeper. Thank you.
We've heard from our candidates. We want to thank them all. Give them a big round of applause. But it ain't over. We still have some door prizes. So students, get out your tickets real quick. We have some gift certificates for the students, $10 gift certificate. And I guess I'll read the last three numbers. The first gift certificate goes to the student who has 771. 771. Going once. Going twice. Gone. How about 814? That was close. Going once. Going twice. Gone. Okay, let's do this. 835. The student was 835. Come on, brother. Stand right over here. Your gift certificate will be here momentarily.
Wow.
753. There we go. How about 827? Going once. Going twice. On. 852. 852, all right. $801. 801. Going once. Twice. Gone. 777. We have three more to go. 847. All right, we have